Let's talk a little bit about fires in this hot weather, because it's often depicted on the media as though this is the climate which is causing these fires and fields are spontaneously bursting into flames. That's not what's going on here, is it?
No, absolutely not. We know what's causing these fires, and it's humans. The climate does contribute because, of course, the hotter it is, the more likely people are to go and sit on the beach and have a barbecue or have a barbecue at home or spend more time outside. But, yeah, it absolutely is people not really taking care of their surroundings that will lead to fires. And I mean, it's really quite serious because we know that there's been massive cuts to the fire service across the country. I mean, in London alone, we've seen 10 fire stations closed in the last few years, 1,000 job losses of firefighters and 29 fire engines taken away from frontline service. So when we are having these grass fires, and you know, some of them are really quite significant, the fire service just don't have the people on the ground to fight these fires. It's really quite concerning.
And what do you do if it's in the middle of like an urban park? It's not always easy to get not called fire engines.
They are called fire engines.
Fire engines.
That's exactly what they're called.
What's the other word for them?
Appliances.
A fire appliance. I mean, it just doesn't make sense. An appliance is a dishwasher. But a fire appliance, you can't always get them into the middle of a park, can you?
Well, absolutely. If you're in the middle of the countryside, you won't be able to get that fire engine there and then connect that fire engine to the water supply. So what I did on a few occasions, normally at Hampstead, if there was a grass fire, you'd go along with a piece of equipment that's called a beater, which is essentially a bit of leather attached to a bit of wood, and you just batter the flame.
That's it.
That's
what you can do.
Yes. You also have something else called a water backpack, which is a great fun bit of equipment. It's a backpack full of water. You look like a Ghostbuster.
Yeah.
And you go and you pump away and again try and put the fire out. It's all well and good if it's a small contained fire, but anything like the fires we saw last week, you're not going to stand a chance. And grass fires and wildfires are really the most unpredictable fires you can have. And if something is going to take a firefighter's life, it's going to be one of those types of fires.
So we've just seen that little piece there, again, about outdoor swimming, wild swimming, as we now call it. As I say, it used to be called swimming in my day. And that is often the cause of deaths at this time of year. It's not in these hot temperatures that people are dying from dehydration or anything like that. It's the fact that they get into difficulty when they're swimming. I think it was about 15 people lost their lives in that last heat wave. Again, it's human behaviour. What kind of things do people do, Lucy, that get them into trouble in the water?
I mean, I'm not a lifeguard, but just from my own observations, you will get people throwing themselves off Westminster Bridge into the Thames or throwing themselves off rocks. I spend quite a lot of time in Guernsey, because where my partner's from, and there's beautiful beaches there. It's like being in the Caribbean, but you will see some quite problematic behaviour of people just lobbing themselves off cliffs and then getting into trouble. And as your reporter said, if you're going to go swimming in this beautiful weather, and you can't blame anyone not going, and you can't tell people to stay at home and not go swimming. It's a beautiful country. We have some beautiful rivers and beaches. We really need to use them. But it's really, if you are going to go swimming, go with a friend, make sure people know where you are, and just be sensible. Try not to get too drunk.